So we all know by now that the latest installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, The Marvels, was a box office disaster. We also know that Marvel doubled down with by promoting a all-female Avengers, apparently, something like that. Um, I guess for kids, they want to, we all knew this was coming. We knew they were going to replace Iron Man with Ironheart, a young woman of color. We knew that they were going to bring, Hawkeye's daughter. We knew that they were going to, this is, we knew Miss Marvel was going to be a thing. But what I think Marvel didn't expect or didn't plan for was the basically overwhelming rejection of the movie. And it's all of us knew what was going to happen when the movie flopped. They were going to blame white men. And it's it's not surprising at all. You see this article from Bounding into Comics, quote, "The Marvel's director Nia DaCosta describes critics of woke Marvel as virulent, violent, and racist and sexist and homophobic." All those things. If you don't like the new woke movement of the Marvels, if you didn't go see the Marvels movie, you are all of those things. The Marvel's director, Nia DaCosta, recently shared her opinion about critics of woke Marvel and said that they are, again, all the things that I said. DaCosta made her thoughts known in an interview with Variety's Angelique Jackson ahead of the film's opening weekend. The director was asked if her use of Beastie Boys' Intergalactic in the film's trailer was a shot at critics of Brie Larson's acting. The lyrics, "Well, now don't you tell me to smile," seemed especially pointed, evoking an early scene, evoking an early scene from the first Captain Marvel where Carol is approached by a smarmy biker who revs his motorcycle engine at her to get her attention and say, "You gotta smile for me." When Carol doesn't react, he calls her a freak under his breath and heads into a store in LA Strip Mall, her revenge, of course, stealing that jerk's motorcycle. I'm not exactly sure that I buy. Okay, first of all, Intergalactic is not about women being told to smile. It's just a literal phrase. So their use of it is literally only skin deep. DaCosta said the song had nothing to do with Captain Marvel critics, of course. That's the first time I've realized that those lines are in the song. Oh, I didn't even know the song. She added, "I cannot say that was on purpose on my part. Sorry to be disappointing." DaCosta then shared her thoughts on critics who lampooned her film and Marvel for going woke. Quote, "There are pockets where you go where they're like, I'm a super fan. I want to exist in the space of just adoration, which includes civilized critique." Only it's civilized critique. Because then there are pockets that are really virulent and violent and racist and sexist and homophobic and all these awful things. And I choose the side of the light and part of the fandom I'm most attracted to. I'm not sure where. It's quite a claim to make that these people are violent. I don't really understand. I guess when you think that words can be violence, I suppose that you might think that. And ultimately, here's the thing where the rubber's meeting the road now in the box office and really with people's reactions to a lot of this kind of new wave crap is that they're going to find out. They're going to find out that their niche of appealing to, oh my God, this actor is brown and no one cares about her backstory, but she's brown. You have to pay to see her movie. It was directed by a brown person. You have to go do that. You have to support this because they're brown. You have to support that because they're brown. We've been told that for years, and a lot of people went out and supported these films. And what did we get thanked with? Garbage cinema. Garbage television. garbage plot lines, garbage characters. They didn't even bother caring about putting out a good product. And that is why no one's going to these movies. That's why no one's going to any of this stuff. YouTuber Ryan Kinnell reacted to DaCosta's defamation, saying, those fans in large part, it's people that have legitimate criticisms of where the MCU has been going for the past several years. That's what we've seen. This is exactly what they do time after time. He added, so you can continue to virtue signal about people that are critical of your movie with buzzwords that mean nothing anymore in the grand scheme of things, but the reality is that people can see right through it. Well, I would say that that's true, especially if you're kind of on the side of, it's not even like a conservative thing. If you're like anti, in movie political messaging, which is most people, you've already been calling people. You've already been called everything in the book, right? I mean, you've already been called racist. You've already been called homophobic. These words don't mean anything anymore. They carry no power at all. And so they keep trotting it out. They keep whining and they keep trotting this stuff out, but it doesn't bother anybody anymore because it doesn't even mean anything. DaCosta's film bombed at the box office with the worst opening weekend in Marvel Cinematic Universe history. The film only grossed $46.1 million in its opening weekend domestically. It also saw significant declines throughout the weekend. On Friday, it grossed $21.6 million. Saturday, it declined to $15 million, a 29% drop. On Sunday, it dropped another 40% to $9.2 million. And look, if you want to go see a movie with a mid woman who hates you, you not only have one option this week, you have two. So you have the Hunger Games out there, which is being advertised as yet another Rachel Zegler, movie. This is a woman that lost $200 million in the only movie she headlined. Now, the Hunger Games, who knows how it will do? It's a pretty big franchise. People are probably excited for it. It's Thanksgiving weekend, right? No, it comes out this week. So it's the week before Thanksgiving, so they'll have a nice run-up. So the weekend of Thanksgiving, you can pay Marvel to have a bunch of women who hate you. You can make them rich, or you can go pay, I don't know who, Lionsgate is doing Hunger Games, I think. You can pay Lionsgate $15 to enrich a woman that hates you. People aren't going. Just people aren't going. Not only did the film tank domestically, but it also tanked internationally by only bringing in $62.8 million internationally for a global opening weekend of $108.9 million. As of writing, the film has only grossed $48.4 million domestically and $62 million international for a total global gross of $111 million. Maybe calling individuals who used to be Marvel fans all kind of nasty names isn't a good marketing strategy long term. Well, yeah. I mean, Marvel at this point is probably just calling these new movies. They're probably classifying them as write-offs. I get it. We kind of had a lot of early young directors that don't have a lot of experience. I can honestly tell you that this movie, The Marvels, is not just like bad because of a bad or inexperienced director. It's bad because the story is bad and nobody cares about the characters. And everyone's just tired of the just consume product and get excited for next product thing. It worked for a long time. It worked for a lot longer than I expected. For me, the shine was visibly wearing off by the time, they turned Thor into an embarrassing butt of the joke, which started in Endgame. And Thor is just this big idiot now. Taika Waititi completely disgraced his character for almost an entire movie, and just to be the butt of a joke. Then Thor: Love and Thunder was perhaps by the time Love and Thunder came out, I was like, oh, it's definitely this is done. This is definitely done. And there are a lot of people that bailed out after Endgame, most people did. But and they'll say, oh, well, Endgame was the end of a story arc and no one wants to support it anymore. I disagree with that. I think that they just overplayed their hand. They thought we would just consume whatever garbage they put out there. So they hired directors. Like, by the way, Taika Waititi is a good director. I liked his work on In the Shadows, What We Do in the Shadows. His Jojo Rabbit movie is very good. I'm not saying he's not talented, but he doesn't care about Marvel. He's even on record saying things like, I'm going to destroy their, like, something like that, you know. So what he did to Thor was deliberate and meant to piss everyone off. And now we get, I don't care who they hire, no one's going to care about Miss Marvel. No one cares about Monica Rambeau or Photon or whatever. Nobody cares about these characters. When you saw Doctor Strange making $800 million, you knew that they were just throwing whatever they wanted against the wall. Now, I like the Doctor Strange character, but those movies never should have been making $1 billion. It was just that people were just programmed. Oh, Marvel movie comes out, I go to the theater. Well, then Disney Plus came out, and they just flooded the market with the stuff, and people just said, I'm good with that now. I've seen enough of the exact same movie over and over again. And we've all seen enough of these loser directors and actors and actresses blast their fans because we don't want to go watch their crap. People have just had enough, and I'm here for it.